All right, welcome everyone. My name is Nick Hershey. I'm the president and founder of the Mortgage Calculator. We are a non-delegated correspondent lender that operates a little bit differently. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us today, giving us the opportunity to show a little bit more about what makes us different, what makes us special. I'm joined here today by our co-host, Jose Gonzalez, our sales manager for 27 years, and our COO, Kyle Hershey, who will go through an actual demo of exactly how everything works on the back end. So first, let me start off sharing my screen and talk a little bit more about what makes us different here. So hopefully most of the people on the call today have checked out this page before, but I'd like to just go through line by line, explain a little bit more about what we mean exactly here. So if you check this out, that's awesome. What we mean on this first bullet point is we have decided to become a non-delegated lender for a few different reasons. And one of the biggest reasons there is we have access to over 60 different wholesale brokered outlets to be a broker. And we have access to over 25 different correspondent investors where we are the lender. So a lot of different opportunities there that those afford. And that's basically because we built this branch model as a branch at a FDIC bank, then a branch at a broker shop, very large branch, and then a very large branch at non-delegated and delegated as well. And we found that non-delegated is the best of both worlds, really, because we're able to have so many options. And what's important there is because we are all about leads here at the Mortgage Calculator. So we need to have a home for every loan that comes in because we are all about generating leads at scale for all of our teams. So unlimited leads at a 50-50 split. Kyle will show exactly what we mean here in a minute on the back end of exactly all the different lead types that we have. But since we're all about generating leads, we need to make sure we have an outlet, whether that's correspondent or brokered. We need to make sure we have a home for every different loan. Now, how do we push those leads through our system? We have our proprietary mortgage software, basically, which really starts with a CRM. So CRM with Dialer, everybody's got a CRM, right? It's how you use it. But what's important for us is it has all the same features as all the CRMs. Kyle will show you exactly how that looks on the back end. But where it starts to get cool is where it starts to integrate front to back on the whole entire system. So it also integrates with our website where a customer can come through, submit their name, email, phone number, actually submit their whole 1003 application, actually pull their own credit instantly, and all of that goes into Encompass with all the different data. So it actually integrates all the way start to finish. And we do that through our APIs. So the next bullet point here is our APIs allow us to push all of our data from our CRM into our POS, into our LOS. It's all the same thing. So there's only one login for you guys as loan officers and only one login for your customers as well. And that's all done through our 30 different APIs. So we still use all the stuff you guys are used to, Optimal Blue, Encompass, all the different things that make our mortgage world work, but we're able to operate it because we've written every line of code for what you're about to see, millions of lines of code in order to push all these different bits of data through all these different systems, all with one login. And as mentioned before, we are all about support. So we have our daily live trainings and group sessions like we're doing today. But we also are all about one-on-one. So one-on-one team leader support calls, get on a Zoom, actually take over your screen, get you unstuck from whatever you're doing, click whatever buttons you need to click and get you unstuck immediately. We also have our live Zoom support. So we have 4 different processors on staff that are in our live Zoom support to also help our LOs get unstuck when they're stuck on simple things. What button do I click for this? What button do I click for that? And Encompass, whatever might may be needed there. We also have our online training center, which has more of a curriculum-based training. So you can go through step by step, pull it back up if you're going through a loan, step by step on a bank statement loan, etc. We also have our knowledge center with thousands of videos, articles, resources. This comes from both us. I posted a couple articles this morning, as well as all our partners. So our partners provide their matrices, their guidelines, all those kinds of different things, their specials, their tips, their tricks. We have all of our different documents and stuff in there, just all kinds of different resources, a fact, all that kind of great stuff. And it's all available to just search instantly. As I mentioned before, we're all about leads, but not only we're about giving all of our team members leads from the company, but also setting up leads for our team members. So we route all of our leads there. If you guys already have a campaign, great. We'll show you how to plug that in through our API system, get them right into your CRM, right into our POS, rocking and rolling. Or if you do not have your own lead campaign set up, no problem. We'll show you exactly how to set up your own lead campaign so you can generate your own full comp leads. The next bullet point is something that I love personally. When I do loans, I generally work with investors. So I love to do the DSCR business purpose loans and be able do those in about 30 different states without limits there. So we're licensed in 17 states for primary, second homes, regular loans. We can also do about 30 additional states that are outside of our footprint if they're a business purpose DSCR. So that's an amazing opportunity for us and for you guys out there to expand your opportunities. That is also a lot of the advertising we do is for our DSCR products. And the final bullet point here that is really important, there are no monthly fees, no tech fees, no desk fees, no hidden fees of any kind. We want to be very transparent. What you see is what we get because we've written every line of code for what you're about to see. We do not have to pass those fees on to you guys or have any sort of back-end fees or hidden fees of any kind. So when we pull up our comp plans here, this is exactly what we mean. So these comp plans are very different. So we want to take a minute to explain it. Obviously, we have a different outlook here since we're all about leads. And these are the plans that fit best for our business model. So they're probably a little bit different than what you're used to. First off, everybody's drawn to the senior loan officer plan on the left. We want to get everybody to a senior loan officer. That's everybody's goal. We want to get you to the highest comp, which is 200 basis points comp. That's 200 basis points on conventional, non-QM, all the stuff we're used to. That's 2% commission for those that may be newer. And that's for all the stuff we're used to where there's, different comp on HELOCs and commercial. Just go ahead and click the button. You can see the full breakdown of everything, but everything we're all used to, 200 basis points. And we're all about leads at a 50-50 split. So if you take a company lead as a senior loan officer at a 50-50 split, you're going to get 100 basis points or 1% commission. And this includes obviously our proprietary CRM, all that kind of great stuff you're about to see, includes receiving leads from our loan officer assistants, which I'll talk about in a second. And obviously our senior loan officers then can upgrade to team leaders, branch managers, and start all that kind of great stuff. And we also have some recruiting bonuses for everybody as well. Now, how do you get to senior loan officer? Everybody's going to start as a loan officer because we are very different. It's very different to wear a broker hat one loan and a non-delegated hat the other loan and navigate these different types of systems that we have. So everybody's going to start as a loan officer here in the middle. This is only going to be on your first 6 loans. Once you do 6 loans, you realize the different channels that we have, all the different opportunities we have, and you can automatically be upgraded to a senior loan officer, no problem. For those first 6 loans, you're going to be on 150 basis points commission on conventional non-QM, all the stuff you're used to. If you take a company lead, which you'll still have access to, you'll make 75 basis points or 0.75% commission on those loans. Still have access to all the software we talk about, access to the company leads and the auto dialer, which Kyle will show you here in a second, and still have access to the recruiting and all that. So we want to make sure everybody starts, learns the system, and then automatically upgrades. We don't want to hold anybody down here. Now, loan officer assistant, this may not be what you think it is. So everybody in our company is licensed. So you do have to have a license, obviously, to make basis points. So this is still for licensed loan officers, but these are for people who may be new, maybe part-time at the moment, and maybe aren't ready to sign their name on the 1003, but are wanting to learn how to do loans. So this is for people who aren't going to sign the 1003 as a loan officer. They're still going to make 75 basis points for referring their friend, their family member, their lead, their client, whatever it is, to a senior loan officer who knows exactly what to do, exactly what button to press, exactly when, and exactly how to close a loan. And they will assist that senior loan officer in getting that loan done as the assistant on that deal. You're going to assist the senior loan officer gathering documents from, your family member, your friend, your client, whatever it is, and learning the loan process throughout. So that's going to be a very important distinction. If you're not ready to go all in, no problem. We would love to teach you, and your license, great. You can still make basis points for helping out, but make sure if you're not quite ready to jump both feet in, you're going to sign up for the loan officer assistant. And you're still going to have access to our system. You're still going to learn all the system. You're still going to be able to call some of the leads, more like the cold call leads and stuff. And you're going to work to refer all those leads to senior loan officers so they know exactly what to do on those deals. So these are our 3 different comp plans. Obviously very different than probably what you're used to. Please go ahead and click the buttons there and check them out. You can click in, read the full comp plan if you want, but we'll go through a little bit more detail here at the end of the presentation. But the next part here, we always go into the software, how the software works. So Kyle's actually going to take over and do an actual live demo so we can show exactly how everything looks. So you ready, Kyle?
Yes, I am. Okay, so when you come on board, we do full trainings on this. So I'm just going to highlight some of the features here of our system. Now, as you can see here, we have your typical CRM where you can take your notes, send and receive emails. All the communication pops up down here. You can set reminders for yourself. You can put them on action plans, automated drip campaigns to text them and email them automatically over time. All that kind of good stuff, right? But what really starts to set our system apart here is our quoting system. So you can use the quoting system here to put in just 6 pieces of info that you get from the client. You can click this button and pull all of the rates from all of our different investors that fit that program. And within 2 minutes, you can spit them out a nice quote. It sends them an email and a text of a quote that looks like this. It shows them their rates. It shows them what these things mean. You're giving them these rate choices. It pulls in the Google map automatically, the Zestimate automatically. Here's the proposed loan info, gives the monthly breakdown of the taxes, insurance, all that kind of stuff, the estimated closing fees here. Of course, you as the loan officer, and you can add a realtor to the transaction. And so your realtor partners absolutely love this because they know when they send you a client, you're going to be able to quote them within minutes, but also attach the realtor to the quote. So they're on the quote and you're telling the client, hey, we are your team that's pushing this deal across the finish line. Let me tell you, your realtor partners will go crazy for this. Everybody loves to see themselves up on the screen somewhere. Everybody loves that you're keeping them right in front of their client's face, right? Now, the coolest part here is that they can click Start My Loan Application. What that does is takes them to their borrower portal. Let me show you what that looks like. They will do their 1003 right here, prompting them to fill out their 1003 in our system. Everything is in our system that you're about to see. No other logins. They don't have to go to any other websites. They can start their 1003 right here in this window. It's going to prompt them to upload the documents for this type of loan that we have. This is a conventional loan, so it's just asking for the basic documents here. They can see their loan info, the milestone of where their loan is at. They can contact you through here. So great borrower portal here, which is what they jump right into when they decide to move forward with your quote. Now, let me show you what it looks like on your end here. So now that they've started the loan, you have control here. You can see and help them with their 1003. You can help them upload documents, and you can request documents. So let's say you need 12 months bank statements. Save changes. Now it lets them know we need 12 months bank statements. Click here to upload the bank statements in your borrower portal. Maybe it comes in as one type of loan, and then you change it and say, you know what, we're actually going to go VA with this. So let me replace that packet with the VA self-employed, right? Save changes. Now it's just asking for the basic documents we need. So you don't even need to know the basic documents you need for each loan type. The system is actually going to tell you and request those documents from the client automatically. Now you can also request signatures. So if you need a signature from the client, you can use one of these templates, click Save Changes. Now it lets them know they need to sign this document. And when they sign it, it's going to actually pop up the e-sign right there in their borrower portal, in their system. They don't have to leave the page to be able to sign the documents that you're sending. And of course, you can request custom documents here of whatever, an underwriter may have asked you for or anything like that. So the client can fill out their 1003 right here. They can upload all of their documents right here. You can request more documents. And when the client is at the end of the 1003, it actually has them agree to pull their credit. As soon as they do that and submit their 1003 with permission to pull credit, we automatically pull credit. We pay for that, not you, and your client doesn't pay for it up front. We pay for the credit pull automatically. So when they fill out everything, you now have the ability to originate the loan here in Encompass, which is the API through our system. So watch, when I click Encompass here, it pulls up Encompass, but in our system. No more waiting for Encompass or having to load it, doing all this different stuff. So when you pull up Encompass, their 1003 is already going to be filled out in here. Their credit is already going to be in here for you, right? So you can not only request documents, get the 1003, get the permission for credit, but it's all already in here when you click our Encompass API, so that everything is done in one system, in one login. So you see here how we take the client from being a lead to communicating with them, to quoting them, to collecting their 1003, collecting their documents, pulling their credit, and boom, you pop up your Encompass API and everything is already in there for you. Everything all in one system, in one login with a seamless process to go through here. Now, let's talk about what happens after we originate the actual loan. Once we're disclosing the loan to the client, now we have our pipeline tab. You'll see all of your different loans here, what investor or lender they may be at, the client's name, most importantly, the milestone of where the loan is at, right? So if the contract is received, we're going to change it to that. And it's going to ask us if we want to send a status change to the client. If we choose to keep that checked, it's not only going to change the milestone in our system, but it's also going to notify the client and the realtor if they're attached to the deal, and you and the loan officer assistant and the branch manager. Everybody is going to know what step this loan is at now in the milestone. So again, taking the client all the way through the process in the system, making sure they're communicated with all the way through. The number one complaint about loan officers from both realtors and clients is lack of communication. So our system has all kinds of things throughout it to make sure we're communicating with the client, and even some of it is automated, right? So again, taking them from being a lead, communicating with them, following up with them in the CRM, quoting them, gathering their documents, gathering their 1003, pulling their credit, originating the loan in Encompass, then keeping track of the loan all the way through the process right here in one system. So now let's talk about where the leads come from in the first place, right? How are we getting the leads that we're giving to you? So first and foremost, we're doing our ad campaigns, right? So as Nick talked about, Nick and I have a lead background. We own a marketing agency before we got into the mortgage business. And so obviously Nick's pretty good at doing ads. And so we're running our Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns, Google, things like that. And what happens is when somebody clicks on one of our ads, you are immediately sent a text message with that lead to be able to claim that lead and give them a call. So let me show you what this looks like. This is an actual test account from my actual test profile today, getting these leads in real time, which is what you would be doing. Notice at 9 o'clock this morning, I got a text for Foreign National DSCR. Notice here later today, I got a team referral, meaning that a loan officer assistant already spoke to this person and structured a DSCR deal and is referring it to me so that I can click the link and go ahead and do the loan. Notice we have regular purchase leads here. I have a national US DSCR lead here, more purchase leads, more team referral leads coming in as well, right? So tons of different type of leads coming in here all day long. So that's going to be how your phone looks of all kinds of different leads that we're going to be sending you all day. So that's the first way that we provide you leads, with our hot, instant Facebook leads that have an amazing conversion rate. Now, the other way we provide you with leads is in our auto dialer. So you can use our auto dialer to call 300, 400, 500 people in a day. You click one button to drop them an automated text and an email from you saying, hey, I just called about your purchase or your refi, whatever it is. It's automatically going to plug all that info in. So you can call hundreds of people in a day, dropping the automated texts and emails. And we provide the leads in here for you. So we have purchase leads, we have cold calls, we have realtor calls, we have all different kinds of call lists in here for you to call. And you can click the start call session button and boom, you're off and running. You call hundreds of people in a day using the auto dialer. So we provide you leads that way as well. Another way that you can get leads is to purchase them. So those same leads that we buy and we give to you on a 50-50 split from our ad campaigns, we allow you to purchase more too, right? So you can fill your pipeline even more than the leads we're giving you. We are going to give you leads on the lead split all day, every day, but you should still be filling your pipeline with some of your own leads that are not on a lead split. So when you purchase one of these lead packages, the leads are going directly to you and they are not on a lead split. So you're getting full compensation for these leads. A great example I like to use is one of our loan officers, Nicole. She did her first loan ever as a loan officer It was denied at another lender. She took it here. She met with Jose a bunch of times. They restructured it into a profit and loss loan. And it was from one of the leads, but it was one of the leads that she purchased. So it was one of our Facebook leads from our campaigns, but it was one of the ones she purchased herself. So first commission ever as a loan officer was her $16,000 commission, and she saved $8,000 of that because she had purchased the lead herself as opposed to getting it from us on the split. So that's a great example of why you should be filling your pipeline with more leads that are not on the 50-50 split. Another way to work leads in our system is to import leads. So if you buy leads from anywhere else, that's great. We can pull them into our system in real time. You have your own custom webhook here, and you can use Zapier to zap them into our system, right? And that way they come in real time. So if you already buy leads from Zillow, that's great. You can pop them in here in real time so that you get a text and an email when the lead comes in. That way you can call them, quote them, gather their 1003 and their documents, everything here within our system, just like if it was any other lead, right? So whether you're purchasing leads from us in our campaigns or somewhere else, you can put them into our system in real time here. So that's another way that we provide leads for you here in the system, or ways to work leads here into our system. So I want Nick to talk a little bit about the type of leads we get and why. So as I talked about, that's what we do, digital marketing. Nick has a certification from Facebook as a digital marketing associate. He has a certification from Facebook as a media planning professional. He has a certification from Google as a Google Ad search specialist. And we've just been doing leads for a long time, even before we got into the mortgage industry. So I'm going to let Nick, kind of the lead master here, talk about the type of leads we get and why. Then Jose is going to talk about the support that we provide here. And then after that, we'll open it up to questions. So go ahead, Nick.
Sure. So whenever we're, doing a campaign, whether it's for us or anybody that's looking for help, we want to make sure we do something different, right? So for the last 4 years or so, we've been doing this as, all the different models we've been through, the campaigns and the leads, and the focus has always been to be different. So for the last 4 years, we've been focusing on advertising the exact opposite of what the big guys have been focused on, right? So we haven't been really focused on doing just, conventional refis like everybody else for the last long time. We've always done the exact opposite and serve the underserved borrowers, the borrowers that the Rockets cannot do, the self-employed borrowers, the investors that, don't have a regular job, right? They just have hundreds and hundreds of investment properties, right? They can't be conventional. So we want to advertise to those customers that are being underserved. We're going to advertise the programs that they probably didn't know exist, the non-QM programs that we've loved for the last 4 years. And we're going to knock it out the park because Jose's been doing this for a long time, obviously, and taught us everything and been doing non-QM for a long time. And we're going to teach you guys all as loan officers how to do these non-QM, how to analyze the self-employed borrower. I'm actually doing a training tonight at 7 p.m. live on YouTube, where we're going to go through a full self-employed borrower analysis, no matter how many properties or how many Schedule E's or Schedule F's, right? Most people never done Schedule F's. Me and Jose teach trainings on Schedule F, right? So we'll teach you guys exactly how to do every borrower and properly analyze it, right? So a lot of borrowers who thought they had to click on a bank statement ad, maybe still qualify conventional. They just happen to own 40 investment properties. We just needed to do the full analysis, right? So we'll teach you guys how to do that, teach you guys how to use these programs, and really be a consultant for these borrowers and find the right fit for them. So we're going to really focus on doing something that's different and unique. And we do that through what is non-QM. For most of you, that's probably a new thing, but we've been focused on it for, the last 4 years because we want to be different and unique. And that's exactly why we've set up the systems that we've had and why we find, again, that non-delegated works the best. We want to get these leads in. Once they come in, we have to have a home for these leads. They're the craziest contraption of income. We need to make sure we still have a home for that, whether it's a conventional loan or non-QM loan. And then all the investors that come in, they have all kinds of crazy ground up stuff, like Jose did the example on the live show today for our ground up for investor program. So we need to have everything and anything in between. Every kind of conventional program, obviously we have every kind of specialty conventional program, the one-time close, the 203Ks, the rehabs, all that kind of stuff. We teach you guys how to do. And then we go to the non-QM and we do thousands and thousands of non-QM programs, everything from the easy stuff like bank statements and P&L that we talked about to 1099 to asset-based. We want to make sure no matter what the program is, we have it for our clients. So we have everything that you guys have ever heard of in the non-QM world. We have everything in the commercial world. We want to make sure we have a home for every loan, from the smallest deal of under 100,000 DSCR for these investors to 100-unit $20 million giant complexes. So we want to make sure we advertise and do something different and knock it out the park with backing it up with a system that allows us to still use all these different crazy outlets and crazy programs. And as you guys saw, provide the borrower one experience, one outlet, one place to upload their documents and all that kind of stuff. So Kyle always wants me to say, though, before I end, that even though they come in as non-QM leads, we're always going to do the proper analysis, and we still do conventional loans. We do conventional loans every day. We just closed a couple last night. We still do conventional every day. We still do FHA every day. We still do VA, just disclosed a VA last night as well. So it's no problem to do the regular stuff, but we want to make sure you guys all understand how to do the non-QM stuff so that we take advantage of all the opportunities out there. So does that help, Kyle?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, last thing here, I want to have Jose talk about his experience and the type of support that we provide here at the Mortgage Calculator. Then we'll open it up to questions. So go ahead, Jose.
How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Jose Gonzalez here, mortgage professional and real estate professional, licensed since September of 1995, fully in the business, never left, always been here, just always getting better with each cycle. So you got the leads, you got the technology, you got the customer on the phone. Now what do? Well, what you do is you set up that file structure meeting with Jose or with Nick or whoever may be available, a team leader, branch manager, and we help you structure the file to make sure that you're off to the correct trajectory. As we have so many different programs, we're not just cookie cutter agency loans. We do the whole spectrum so that we have more solutions and options for our borrowers. It's terrible to not be able to do the DSCR loan simply because you only do agency loans, right? We would really be missing out in this last 12 months of business. Very important, especially when we have so many new MLOs or MLOs new to non-QM that our MLOs get traction as soon as possible. We definitely do not want you floundering about trying to figure out how to use the system, trying to figure out how to make the loan work. The important thing is, obviously, you reach out to your leads, you reach out to your prospects on a timely basis. And then if you have any doubts on what to do, it happens all the time. I get the call, I get the email, I get the meeting. Jose, I got him. He has 8 properties that he wants to get out of a portfolio. But what do I do? Book the meeting. That's it. Book the meeting. We have 15-minute meetings. We have 30-minute meetings. We have 45-minute meetings. We have 3-way Zoom meetings that we can do with you and your prospect. If you have an especially good candidate and he's just on the edge but needs a little extra push, book the meeting. We do a 3-way. Those are amazing because in the 3 ways, we just basically add on to whatever you may have already explained to that borrower. We share screens, we show examples, we answer questions, and usually 9 times out of 10, after that meeting is complete, the borrower then completes his application and the process gets started. So great. You got the process started. And then next step after that is you book the file disclosure meeting. Pretty easy with all the technology. Hit the disclose button, a couple other buttons you got to hit there, and your meeting is set. You have everything ready. You show up to the file disclosure meeting. Hopefully your file is complete. Your documents are all uploaded into Encompass. You've dotted all your I's, you've crossed all your T's, and if the file is complete right then and there at the end of that meeting, we will disclose the file and you will sign your part of the application before you leave the meeting to make sure that you don't have any issues with signing your first loan disclosure, right? So, and if it's a if it's a wholesale file where we are not the lender, then after your disclosure is approved, you would go to the portal and you would upload that file for disclosure by the lenders. But again, the majority of our files are correspondent because of the good deals that we get. all of our MLOs have the opportunity for this support. The only thing that would keep them from getting this kind of support is if they're not proactive and they do not reach out. You reach out to us. Our support is available from 9 in the morning until like 9 o'clock at night. We do a lot of the last meeting gets booked at 8 o'clock. We'll run until 9 o'clock. And if it's a file disclosure meeting and you got your file ready and your disclosure is going to expire, your file is going to expire tomorrow. It's let's say, conforming file, you need to get it disclosed, we'll get it disclosed. Doesn't matter if it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I mean, disclosure is like, priority, bells and whistles going up, this is a disclosure, boom, let's go. We definitely don't want the team to suffer from any FOMO, fear of missing out because your file is not getting disclosed. So again, plenty of support here at the Mortgage Calculator. You get your approval. What do? You book a meeting. You can book a meeting with me. You can book a meeting with the processing team lead. You can also go into the Zoom room without an official book meeting, and you can also get taken care of there for your simpler processes. So again, files approved, you got the conditional loan approval, you're going to book the meeting, we're going to go over the conditions with you, we're going to figure out a roadmap of what needs to get done. However, you got to be proactive and you have to book the meetings. If you don't book the meetings, we won't know you need the assistance, but if you do book the meetings, you're definitely going to get the assistance. So that is why we're getting, LOs like our Nicole on that super complicated P&L loan that she got, that she was able to close it. We closed that loan in a little bit over 3 weeks. Mind you, she had an appraisal that was transferred over, which sped up the process a little bit, but it was still, we closed that loan in a little bit over 3 weeks. And that was, I think it was like $1,056,000, like a $1.4 million purchase, 85% loan to value, investment property on a P&L with a 730 credit. Not your easiest deal. The prior outfit that got that loan where it got denied, it was not the Mortgage Calculator, it was somebody else. They tried to do whatever they could do because they only had agency loans, and they tried to do this, not agency, but they tried to do it full doc with tax returns, because I guess that's the only thing they figured they could do. We got it, analyzed it, and put it on the correct trajectory from the beginning so that everybody's expectations is in line, and so that the deal closes. And most importantly, you have a satisfied customer who had a positive experience, who's going to give you referrals, because that's the easy business. That's what adds sustainability to your career. So looking forward to having all of you come on board to the Mortgage Calculator, book your file structure meetings and file disclosure meetings, and close those loans.
All right, perfect. So let's talk about the next steps, then we'll get into questions. So your next steps are going to be, when you're ready to move forward, you're going to go ahead and come to the mortgagecalculator.com/join, which Nick can drop there in the chat for me for you. And you're going to select the plan that works best for you, right? Whether you're going to be a loan officer or a loan officer assistant, you're going to click the button here. It's going to take you to fill out a form. After you submit that form, it's going to pull up the compensation agreement immediately. Now, you don't have to sign it. It's going to email you a copy as well. But once you sign that initial agreement, that is when it's going to kick off the rest of the onboarding steps. That's when you're going to get your official employment agreement, the compliance manual. We're going to walk you through the steps of actually sponsoring your license and all that kind of good stuff. So those are the next steps to get started, and go ahead and take those next steps when you're ready. Now let's go ahead and open it up to questions.